Hi, I'm Vice Mayor Laura Pastor in the heart of the city, rockin' District 4. I am here with some young adults changing the world. I would like to introduce Greyson, Charles, and Elijah from the African American Reconstruction Project. Reconstruction to me, the definition in my head when I hear Reconstruction means rebirth. Why Reconstruction and what is the purpose?
African American Reconstruction is an organization that was founded by young Black high school and college students in Arizona in response to the death of George Floyd during the summer of 2020. Our mission as an organization is to empower generations through our actions. And when we talk about the Reconstruction aspect, we have a goal to change the narrative for the African American community. And when we take a look back at the Reconstruction era post-Civil War, laws should have been changed for newly emancipated African Americans to receive immediate and inalienable rights and privileges, which is why we have launched a modern and necessary Reconstruction era dedicated to the areas of economic development, equitable public education, equal justice, political equity, and healthcare.
So Charles, tell me why this group, but we just went through the purpose of it. What is economic development, equal justice, equality in education, all those different pillars really mean? How do you go about doing that?
Absolutely. As a young Liberian native born, my family moved from West Africa and I went to Brophy, so I had the extreme opportunity to experience poverty and privilege. So from a global perspective, I understand the grim reality of what's really at stake. There's obviously a massive amount of work to be done in the African diaspora. We started African American Reconstruction to show young people that you have to start somewhere and to build a legacy, and then just playing to win.
Okay, so in building a legacy, what I heard or what I'm hearing is that the group wants to build a legacy and change the narrative. And change the narrative not only in economic wealth, because economic wealth is what advances people. Also investing in a home and having a bank account. It's very basic items that we think you need to do this, but not everybody does it because they don't understand and they're afraid. So to help the community to advance themselves and be part of also the political system, to be able to understand how important the political system is and their right to vote, because that voice does count. And if there's enough of us, we can hear and see ourselves represented in whatever place of political field we want.
Absolutely. And I think that it just really starts with young people. And we started just to kind of show young people that if you can contribute something purposeful and intentional and be consistent, there's a group of younger people that are looking up to you. Not only that, but what we've experienced is that there's a massive group of older generation that just want to support you and pour into you. And so for us, African American Reconstruction is more than just ourselves, right? It's about building a legacy.
So you brought up another good point. I'll call them the old G's because in my world, I consider them the old G's. They're the ones who paved the way for us, opened doors for us, really sacrificed and worked hard, and sacrifice in death too, to be able to have what we have today. It is, I feel, our responsibility, and now you're picking it up because I'm older and I'm going to retire, but it is your responsibility also recognizing that, okay, they did this work, we can't let it go, and we need to continue. So I want to thank you for doing that and really being responsible young adults, wanting to influence other young adults and engage them, because what we need is engagement and connectivity. Elijah, what projects have you been doing?
Yeah, so AAR really started in the fall of 2020. And through this, we partnered with the Arizona Commission on African American Affairs and African American Christian Clergy. And we kind of expanded off their 2018 Black Agenda and created our own handbooks out of it. And so as Greyson said, these are 5 pillars that we focus on our handbooks: education, political equity, healthcare, economic development, and equal justice. And through these handbooks, we kind of want to tackle at least 1 to 2 pillars each year. We've only been around for 1.5 years, so we've only been hit a couple. And so the very first one we hit was actually in the spring of 2021, and we had our 2020 Candidates Forum and 2020 Black Candidates Forum, We had local, federal, we had a surrogate for the president to come, and they spoke on their policies and engaged with our own handbook to see how they can implement them, because we really truly believe that the officers we put into positions should honestly reflect ourselves and our values. And so this handbook kind of allowed them to engage on what the African American community really wants right now. Following that, we hit our education pillar by launching our youth teen conference. So this was a 3-day free event for our grades 6 to 12. We had around 50 plus students come, and as you're saying about tackling these things, we talked about these specific topics. For instance, financial literacy. How can these young students manage credit cards, learn how to save, get retirement savings, and invest in themselves for their future? We also had an athlete from Buffalo Bills named Levi Wallace. He came and talked about athleticism. How can we as Black individuals also be athletes but also grow as a person? So we had other stuff to fall back on in life. We had Dr. Tarna Kuruma. She talked about self-worth and understanding our own self-confidence. Because at AR, we really truly believe in the young generation. When they truly believe in themselves, they can do anything. And so for now, we're working with you and lots more to come.
Well, I can tell you about self-confidence. If you don't have self-confidence, you're not going to take a risk. In order to survive, in order to succeed and move forward in anything, you have to take a risk. And you have to have self-confidence. But like me, there's moments where my self-confidence is lacking, but I know if I take that risk, somebody's going to be there to pick me up. I may fail, learn from my failures, and move forward. And so that's something that youth have to understand. It's okay to fail. It's okay to not win, like in football, basketball. It's okay to show some sportsmanship and go to the other team and say, hey, congratulations, thank you, you know. We saw that in the last playoffs. And I think that is great sportsmanship, but that's also humanity. And that's what you guys are teaching. You're teaching kindness. You're teaching be courageous, be respectful to the older generation. And you're doing this with going to school, wanting to change the narrative. And I think that is most exciting. So I am so proud of you for being along with you in this journey. And I am so proud of the fact that you are doing what you're doing in our community, because it's not only does it begin in our community, but it also expands to other communities. So I want to thank you for doing that and really appreciate it. Now, tell me what big projects coming up and how can people support you?
So coming up on April 9th of this year, we will be launching our first annual 5K running festival at Steel Indian School Park. We would like to personally thank you, Vice Mayor, and the rest of your office here at District 4 for your support in helping us get this on the ground. The proceeds that we get from this event will go straight towards our mentorship program, where we will be hosting workshops and classes for the youth on financial literacy, Black history, and other essential topics. We're also well in the planning process of our second annual teen conference, as well as getting ready for our 2022 midterm election candidates forums. And if you are interested in connecting with us, you can feel free to visit our websites at aareconstruction.org and follow us on Instagram at African American Reconstruction.
Well, thank you. You guys are doing a lot, especially when you're going to college and balancing and probably have jobs too and everything and working with me. It's so exciting to see you doing this and lifting. I'd like to thank Ava, Dariana, Tahir, and Davon, who could not be with us today, to congratulate them and thank them for being a part of the project. During Black History Month, you can see all the great things that will be happening, but also the youth and changing our community. I am Vice Mayor Laura Pastor in the heart of the city, rockin' District 4.